So there's a major bombshell that just dropped, and I think it just changed everything for the Pittsburgh Steelers, perhaps even torpedoing their plans at quarterback. And this is an unseen thing, completely out of the Steelers' control, but it might have just hijacked their 2025 NFL draft strategy. And what I'm talking about is that there's a ton of speculation right now. You've heard it from me as well. One of the top quarterbacks prospects, Shedeur Sanders, that he's going to drop into the Pittsburgh Steelers' lap with the 21st overall pick. It's been getting so much traction, but now we've got a recent injury development on Saints quarterback Derek Carr. I think it threw a monkey wrench in the black and gold's draft plan. So let's get straight to it. And this is according to NFL insider Ian Rappaport. He's a really reliable source. Carr is dealing with a significant shoulder injury. Surgery exists as a potential solution that would knock him out of action for the complete 2025 season. And he also acknowledged that this new information, it would likely factor into the New Orleans Saints draft plans. So we're looking at Sanders, though. He's unlikely to go in the top 3, but I've got to share this as well. Immediately after the injury news, Deion Sanders, you guys know how he operates. He immediately posted a picture of Shedeur in a Saints uniform. So if you're one of the Pittsburgh Steelers guys that truly believe that Shedeur Sanders, like myself, that he'd be a really good fit with the Steelers organization, I think he would have been a really good plan for them. He's unlikely to go in the top 3, but the Saints now at number 9, I think they're the biggest threat to him not falling all the way down to 21. I think the Saints are going to pull the trigger. If you even look at the Vegas odds, Vegas knows, right? Typically, the odds have greatly shifted to the New Orleans Saints taking Shedeur Sanders with their 9th pick overall. And this kind of changes things, because we were just talking about Shedeur Sanders, talking about his visit with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he actually said that his visit was great, fantastic, in his interview of Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport. I believe it was in the airport lobby still. He hadn't left Pittsburgh yet. To quote, "The Steelers were great. I understand it. I understand why they win so much, why Coach Tomlin is the way he is. He resembles my dad a little bit. They have the same principles." And I don't think Pittsburgh put all of their eggs in the Shedeur Sanders basket. I think they definitely put in extensive time scouting the entire quarterback class. If you look at the top 30 visits, Ole Miss's Jackson Dart, he visited last week. And early in March, the Steelers, they hosted the quarterback from Louisville. They hosted Syracuse's Kyle McCord. He's scheduled to visit next week. And but you're looking at, if Shedeur Sanders goes off the board before them, what are the reverberations of that? How do the Steelers approach quarterback on NFL draft day? How do they approach it in general? Because there still isn't an answer for Aaron Rodgers being offered the job. I think he was given a contract, 3 weeks ago, and he's still holding you guys hostage. By the way, I'm coming to you with an impartial, kind of an outsider's view of the Pittsburgh Steelers on this channel. I really appreciate you guys being here with me as I continue to give you Pittsburgh Steelers news on the daily. They're not my primary team, but yeah, I've become really intrigued by you guys with Justin Fields entering last year, and my hatred for Aaron Rodgers might keep me here. I'm primarily a Bears guy, but like and subscribe. Keep tuning in. I'm going to give you an impartial view here, and I think it's beneficial. So let's kind of look at this. Okay, let's say Sanders is out of their plans. You've still got an Aaron Rodgers problem. Still no answer. But if you I look at the structure of this team, and I really don't think that Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan put this team together, went to all the trouble to spend all that cash and bringing in DK Metcalf as the number 1 receiver to pair with GP. I don't think this was done so Mason Rudolph would be the quarterback. I think Mason Rudolph was signed to apply some pressure. I think Mason Rudolph was signed to be a stopgap option, like a just in case. But I don't think this was the original plan. I think this quarterback position has been just greatly mismanaged by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're allowing Aaron Rodgers, without a timeline given to him, to kind of take advantage of things, to actually use this Pittsburgh Steelers job as leverage for Minnesota. And what this also brings into the picture is he can now use this Saints job as an excuse of not giving the Steelers an answer, to leverage it for more money, to kind of play his media game. I think it's definitely going to happen. And still waiting for his answer. And then kind of shift over to the Saints just for the matter of being complete. Were the Saints surprised by this? I mean, Carr suffered a shoulder injury last year. It requires surgery now. I don't think the Saints were surprised by this injury, and they'd already started doing homework on the top QB prospects. They also seem to have prepared contractually, because if you weren't paying attention, I'll just fill this in. It's my job here. Carr and the Saints, they actually agreed to a restructured deal before the start of free agency, and the New Orleans Saints could move on after this season from Derek Carr. Currently, Spencer Rattler started 6 games in 2024. He remains the Saints quarterback as of now. I definitely don't think that's the Saints plan either. So let's kind of get this too. Let's focus on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Speaking of Rodgers, what is his timeline or lack thereof? Because doesn't this open up another possibility for him to leverage or delay over this decision? And the Aaron Rodgers waiting game, it's got more interesting because we've got Derek Carr with the injury, and now who's the best available free agent? It's Aaron Rodgers. So I think we're going to see a report. I'll probably share it. I think sooner or later the Saints are going to reach out and it's going to be leaked to the media, either by the Saints or by Aaron Rodgers himself, because the guy's kind of a jerk. He wants to hold this over the Steelers' heads. I think that's a definite possibility. New Orleans becomes another really viable option for him, and it kind of fully underscores a reality. More opportunities could arise for Aaron Rodgers. Players get injured in camp, and the right injury at the right time. What if that job's open? A player gets injured, that opens up another door for Aaron Rodgers, and I think he's going to wait for it. I don't think you're going to get an answer from him anytime soon. It might be all the way through the draft, which is absolutely ridiculous. So now it's the Steelers, maybe the Vikings, or maybe the Saints now. If he keeps on waiting to see if a starting position becomes open, I think Aaron Rodgers has no qualms about doing this. So it kind of puts the Steelers in a weird position. I don't think the plan was for Mason Rudolph to be your quarterback all year. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I think he can carry the water for the year. I think he definitely can do that. I think he can adequately fill in this quarterback position. I think he can get you 9-10 wins. I think that's absolutely possible. But bringing in DK Metcalf was about getting over the hump. And I don't think they want to waste big money on this wide receiver and all the things that you guys have done on this team to kind of have a holding pattern for a year. I don't think that was the plan. I think this was greatly mismanaged. I think they underestimated Aaron Rodgers' ability to be a jerk and to be selfish. And then on top of that, I think they were starting to move towards Shedeur Sanders being the target. I think that's a definite possibility. But now this Saints move, this Saints announcement on Derek Carr has kind of it's kind of changed everything in my opinion. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Where do you think the Steelers should go from here? And I don't know, Jackson Dart kind of feels like Kenny Pickett 2.0 in my opinion. But you guys always let me know. It's fun covering your team on the daily, and I'll be back tomorrow. See you.